Hey guys, it's Pam. So this video is a review of The Walking Dead's latest episode, Season 5, Episode 11, The Distance. So I think it was a great episode and lots of things happened, so there's a lot to talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about is Aaron following the group. That was interesting how that happened. I'm still kind of confused as far as how they managed to do that, especially with Daryl like walking around so much, and how did no one see them follow? Like I don't know. That was weird. But yeah, so how long was he actually following them for? And how much did he actually hear and see? I wonder if that's ever going to be talked about, the specific, different things that have come up among the group. I wonder what their take was on it, especially the parts where, Daryl is grieving and he hurts himself and he's talking to Carol. I wonder what they make of that. Or even when Maggie is grieving, like what they're gonna make of her, doing that, and them trying to get over all the loss that they've recently had. I loved him telling them why he wanted them to be part of the group. I thought that was really nice, especially because last episode I feel like the talks that they were having was the complete opposite of what Aaron saw from them. So, maybe in their own heads they feel like they're being a certain way, but Aaron, was like, no, you guys are better than the average people who are living now. You guys are your people. You are a group that doesn't turn on each other, and you support each other, and you are going to make our community stronger. That's why we want you to come with us, especially after Rick has talked about them being the Walking Dead and having to act like they are dead until they get through it, until they make it. I think that was really nice to see that, because they're not. I mean, I was siding with Daryl. We're not them, we ain't them, and it was really nice to see that. It was touching to hear him say that, and I really like that part. But Rick doesn't want to give him a chance. I don't blame him. He has, he's the leader. He has to be the most cautious, I think, out of all of them, because he's looking out for everyone and, his family, and they've dealt with so much. He can't. They've trusted too many people, and clearly the issue aren't the zombies anymore. It's the people that they meet that they cannot trust anymore. And this guy, there's so many things that he could have done to hurt them already, but he's still not convinced that he's actually trying to help. And yeah, he punches him. He freaking punches that guy, and it's like, shut up, basically. And everyone else is surprised, and I'm kind of like, you're going a little bit too far with this, Rick. Like, I understand your concern with not believing him, not trusting him, but why do you have to punch him? So that was funny. I think it's interesting to think about what Aaron was thinking about the group not wanting to trust him and believe him, and why it took so long for them to finally say, like, oh yeah, you actually mean what you're saying, you're being honest, you're not really gonna hurt us. I'm sure, he knows that they're being cautious, but I think it was so far beyond what he's ever seen before or been able to imagine, that I think it would have been interesting to see, like, kind of know more about the confusion, like enough that they I don't know, maybe say something like what they've gone through or what they've lost or whatever. I don't know. And I don't think he would ever actually understand. They've put, lost people because they've trusted others, and they are there without shelter and without anything because of that. And Aaron doesn't know. Yeah, he's right that they're gonna make a good addition to the group, I think, but he doesn't realize, like, how much crap he's getting himself into also in bringing this group in. So I think it's super interested to see where the rest of the season goes. Michonne also is freaking amazing in this episode. I loved how she wasn't necessarily questioning Rick's authority, but she was trying to make him see, you know, the information from a different point of view while still cautious, giving some kind of opportunity because, like she said, it's dangerous to pass this up, especially with Judith, who needs a home, who needs the stability to be able to grow and have the best chance of living through this. So I thought that was awesome. She was able to say, I think, what the rest of the group was thinking, but we're, you know, too scared to say anything, especially because Rick, you know, he's been undermined a couple times, I feel like, and things have gone wrong. So I think it's like, no, we're finally going to listen to Rick. But in this situation, I think what Michonne was saying was definitely what everyone wanted to do, and I'm glad she stepped up. And I'm glad with how Rick has been taking it. You know, he understands, like, that's what a leader should be. That is a real leader. And although he was being super cautious, you know, everyone understands why. And even though he really says no, Michonne, you know, he was still going to let Michonne, you know, say her piece, and then to see everyone else support her. He didn't, like, you know, take it personally or anything. So I love that. Michonne was freaking awesome. Yeah, but that's another week of Daryl not being kind of the second, like the right-hand man to Rick. Last episode, you know, he was on the walkie-talkie with Carol. And then this episode, Michonne was running the show. You know, she's what got everything to happen. Because if it was up to Rick, he would have freaking just killed him. Made sure he found all the other people that were around there or might know about them and killed them. RV, and it was definitely an ode to Dale. It made me miss him and get a little sad. You know, and even if you didn't think of Dale immediately, the part towards the end where Glenn knows where the spare battery is and Abraham asking how he knew that, like, you knew oh gosh, I wish he was like, oh, an old friend or Dale. I don't know. I miss him. Another part of the show, of the episode that I really liked was, I don't know, this is kind of weird, but like when the group is in the barn again and they're trying to plan the trip, and Aaron is sitting there and they're all like kind of standing like kind of away from him. I was kind of proud to see like how the group kind of showed the new people, Noah and Father Gabriel, how the group works and how awesome they are and how good they are at protecting themselves. I'm like thinking like, you guys are so freaking lucky to be with this group. You have no idea. I don't know. I was like super proud of that, and I liked that dynamic. It's just such a reminder of like these people are so hardened by the life that they've lived so far, in contrast with the people who have been sheltered from that. I think every time I see that, especially, you know, this season, it's been really great to watch. So basically, Rick does not want another Woodbury or another Terminus, so he has requirements for what it's going to take for him to live wherever, you know, this community is. And one of the ones that stuck out was, you know, what did you hear when you came up to these places? There was no noise. It was quiet. That was like really interesting to bring up, and I really liked how that was addressed in the episode with you know, him talking to Michonne, and because Michonne's the one who's trying to convince Rick to you know, listen or give Aaron a shot. We'll just have to see, you know, if you know, it's up to Rick's standards for putting his children in that environment and his group. So the epic road trip on Route 23, crazy. Um, I was so scared. Oh my gosh, that was like not just like suspense. That was not just suspenseful. It was creepy. Like I actually kind of got grossed out with the amount of blood that ended up on that car when Glenn was running into all those walkers. It was just nasty seeing them exploding on contact, and then to see how much blood, oh god, it was nasty. It reminded me of like, what was it, Carrie? It reminded me of like horror movies. It was just like, never go on a quiet road in the middle of nowhere at night. Like, horror movies teach you that. Do not do that shit. But of course, you know, that had to happen, and it was epic. It was so scary to watch, but it was so cool at the same time. And then Aaron freaking running out of the car and them chasing him, and Glenn almost getting bit. Oh gosh, that was intense. You know, luckily they all made it out somehow. The flare went off, so they had something to follow. I thought that, you know, that part where Glenn saves Aaron and then Aaron repeats a line that Glenn says, "We can make it together, but we can only make it together." I was listening. Was interesting. At first, I forgot that he could hear what Glenn was saying, so I was like, "Oh my god, what are the odds that he said that too?" And but yeah, so then I remember he like listened. He was listening in on them. But that was true. Like he's like, "No, I know, I know you enough to know like we can do this. Like you want to make this work, and I can help you." So they managed to get all out there and to wherever, you know, the rest of the group is. And then the awesome whistling thing that Rick and Daryl have was cute. They're all so happy to be together again, and Aaron is looking for his friend Eric, and he runs into that place and gives a big hug and a big kiss, and clearly, you know, they're together, and it was so freaking cute. Like he flipped out when he saw that flare. Like he thought, "Oh no, my boo is in trouble. F you guys, I need to go find him. My hands are tied behind my back, but I'm gonna freaking go and save him because I love him." That was really cute, and he freaked out. Yeah, love makes you do crazy things, like I said before. Um, it was adorable. I really like Eric's character. I don't know how I feel about the acting though. Like this sounds terrible. It really sounds terrible. But the level of acting, I think I didn't really see him, maybe Eric and Aaron, the people that play them. I don't know, it's not on par with the core group. And I really hope I'm wrong about it because it's going to really be annoying if that becomes a case with all these new characters that could be added to this show. Like they need to be able to match up against all those awesome characters that are already on the show. So yeah, I hope that's not an issue. But I like their exchange. It was just such a cute thing, like the cute married couple. So there's a part where Glenn is, where they're trying to figure out, okay, we're going to stay here for the night. And then Glenn talks to Rick about, you know, them giving them the shot and making this work and getting to Alexandria the next day. And he mentions how it actually does matter. The first thing I thought of was when he said it didn't matter. I think it had something to do with, oh gosh, what did it have to do with? Oh, them killing people or having like a reason why they wanted to kill people, like live people, not just walkers, something like that. And when they saw all those bodies just fall out of laid outside, like half bodies, Glenn was like, it doesn't matter. And then he just seemed so like disconnected. To see him change his mind and be like, it actually does matter. Like I thought that was nice to see that. Other thing I thought about was when the part where and the episode where Beth and Daryl are at the country club, and she's trying to put or put down that zombie or the walker that got cut in half, or the body or whatever that had like the rich bitch sign on. And she goes, it does matter, because Daryl's like, it doesn't matter, she's dead. I thought about that. So I don't know. I was like, oh, Beth, I love Beth. I love Beth, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not like a crazy like person who's like, oh, Daryl and Beth are gonna be together forever. No, I like Beth as a character. She is an awesome character. She was great. I connected with her. She was an extension of Herschel, who is amazing. And I'm sad that she's gone, but I think she's still making an impact on the show. Ooh, another part I really liked was the exchange between Noah and Aaron, although it kind of worries me where it's gonna go with oh gosh, I felt like it was some kind of foreshadowing. I'm like super nervous about it because you know, he has like the leg, something happened to his leg, and he mentioned he has Aaron mentioned he has a surgeon at the community who might be able to help him. I don't know. I wouldn't take that risk. Like, I'm thinking with like my medical cap on now. But maybe now, like in the real world, we have anesthesia and antibiotics and a medical team to take care of you. Like, I'd be okay with that, and physical therapy, all that stuff. But like, I'm scared that say he gets something done and something goes wrong and he gets sick and die. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of scared that something's gonna happen to Noah. I like him and I want to hold on to him, even though I miss Beth, and he freaking got two of the characters killed. Not really, but you know, his whole arc too has cost them their lives, Tyrese and Beth. He's kind of like making me hold on to those characters. If he's still there, it'll be like, oh, their death was worth it because he made it, you know. So I hope he's safe, but you know, it's The Walking Dead, so anything can happen. I thought it was interesting to see like everyone in the RV and Eugene playing cards. It felt like some weird, creepy family road trip that they were going on, and I kind of laughed at that part. And yeah, it was interesting. And like they see Washington D.C., which looks completely different from Atlanta. You know, clearly Atlanta was just totally bombarded with napalm and just so much attack back from, I guess, the military against the walkers, that like the city fell. It was no longer what it, you know, a city. Washington D.C. looked so pretty. Like, it's like nothing had happened. Like, it's like they're on a road trip and they're getting to Washington, D.C. That's what it looked like. Some lines that I really liked happened towards the end of the episode. The part where Michonne and Rick kind of have a little moment together and they're talking about pretty much like the theme of the show of this episode was trust and what has happened in the past and how it's going to affect me for the future and what my decisions are going to be from now on. You know, all has to do with trust. And Michonne says to Rick, the fight's over, you have to let it go. And it really was touching to see. I feel like that's what Michonne has been wanting to say ever since Aaron came into that barn and Rick was like on high alert. I think that's what she was trying to say to him without actually saying it, and I think she picked the right time to say it and was like, I understand, like, it's that fight has gotten you to this point and it's kept you alive, it's kept us alive, but you need to know when to let it go because it'll eat you up. It will affect you, and there's a point where you can't just do that and rely on that because you're going to miss out on an opportunity of having an actual life. So I thought that was really nice to see that. And then I think Rick said something like, the rules are always changing, something like that, and I thought that was that was also great to, you know, Michonne, I think, replied in that, you know, what about me? I was kind of in those shoes where you guys didn't know who I was, but you trusted me, you brought me in, and they could be the same people, they could be me. And I think part of her identified with Aaron, which is maybe why she wanted to kind of help them, I guess. Or, you know, trust them a little bit more than Rick and Michonne. I think they're just another great friend pair that I want to see more of. Their dialogue is amazing. And so what does the J on the gun mean? The one that he hid in the blender. Judith, that's the only J I can think of. But yeah, so when is that gun gonna come back into play? I have no idea. I teared up when the camera zoomed in all the way into Rick's eyes, and then he finally hears the noise that he hasn't heard at other places. He hears kids, he hears playing, and you know at that moment that's what he needed to be convinced, to know that it was okay to live there, to finally give in. And you just see all that tension just come out. Just in the eyes, like you felt that relief. This show is amazing in making you feel that, not just watching it week after week, but I felt like I was on that road with them for weeks. I was with them when they lost all those people, and I felt that relaxation, that weight lifted off my shoulders when he heard that noise. It was just so nice and so adorable, and I wanted to cry. And then when he went to pick up Judith, oh gosh, I wanted to keep going. And of course, the episode ended, and we will see what is on the other side of those gates next week, next Sunday. I have some predictions that are not so great, but yeah, so I mentioned I feel like Noah, oh gosh, who's the next to go, because that's something you always have to think about, and I have to mentally prepare myself like way ahead of time. But I'm kind of scared for Noah, and I'm kind of worried. I think about maybe Tara. She hasn't really been talking too much. I mean, she seems like she's pretty stable, but I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like maybe something could happen to her. And then this is the one that I never thought I would think about, but just with how the story has been going, it seems like that might be a possibility, is Daryl. Oh, gosh, he is, Beth said it perfectly in that episode in season 4. Like, he was made for this world, and with them going into this new community, if it turns out to be something like the old world, maybe he won't belong anymore. And with him being so emotionally distraught, like, what's going to happen to him? All these people, if they settle into this place, they're going to have different roles than what they've had in a while. And I know they had the prison, but even then, like, I think it'll be different, and I'm kind of nervous about Daryl. He can't do this alone. Like, there needs to be, I mean, even Carol is great, but I feel like he's just not connecting with anybody right now, and I'm really afraid of what's gonna happen, especially with him, hurting himself and using that cigarette butt on his hand. Like, that means something. It wasn't just like, I don't think an isolated thing where he's like, oh, I'm numb, I need to feel something. I don't even think that's what it meant. I think he just had so much pain and so much hurt. He needed physical pain instead. He would rather have physical pain than emotional pain, and even that wasn't going to help him. So I think that'll still be continued in maybe the next episode. I'd like to see it, but I'm scared because he can't keep going like this, and I want to see him fight to stay alive. So, yeah. Anyways, so that's all I have for today. Please like and subscribe if you want to hear more reviews, watch more reaction videos, and please comment. I am so open to conversations about the show. Surprisingly, I don't know a lot of people who like this show, and even the ones who do, I mean, I guess I'm just like way too detail-oriented and anal about this stuff that like they don't want to talk about as much as I do. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for listening, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.